सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् हरि ओम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् Yes. Can someone recollect? I think yes, Chitraji, if you can give us a summary, we can then move ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah. Hari Om. So in the previous session, we saw about the properties of the Atman. That was the topic of discussion. Krishna explains Arjuna that the soul is something that cannot be destroyed by a weapon, cannot be uh, and burnt by the fire, and it is untouched by the water and the winds. And explains Arjuna that he has nothing to do in this, nothing to lose in this war, and asks him to rise up and fight because he is fighting for the righteousness, and there's nothing that he's going to lose. It's for the establishment of the higher will, is what Krishna explains Arjuna about. And then he goes on to tell that one must have an unshakable faith and source of strength. On there should be a Shraddha Sthan, and which is going to be a source of light that never extinguishes and helps one keep moving forward. And Krishna reminds Arjuna to connect to this higher source and understand that, and always remember the truth of the Atman. And we saw the concept of Jivan Mukta. So, a person who has realized and is liberated, such a person who is free from the binds of attachment, and he lives in a state of bliss. And he's always in a state of poise and basically a transcended soul. He does the karma without getting into the karma bandhana. So, this is something that we saw in the previous session.
Yes, I think, thank you, Chitraji. And we also saw this particular shloka of the Gita where Krishna himself tells us that such a person who is a Jivan Mukta, someone who has become free, such a person is truly liberated from all types of karma bandhana, karma bandham prahasyasi, such a person whose mind, whose buddhi is awakened. If you see the 39th shloka of the second adhyay, Krishna says there, he says, Esha te bheta sankhye buddhir yoge tvimam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. He says, I'm going to reveal now this sacred knowledge, this ancient knowledge, O Arjuna, that's going to lift the wheel. The most ancient yoga of knowledge that liberates one from karma's bondage. We saw a small introduction to what a Jivan Mukta is. Anybody, if you can just share something about who is a Jivan Mukta? How does he or she look? Are they like human beings? Or are they having two horns, elevated, levitating, or walking, talking like humans? What is Jivan? Yes, Kalpana ji. Yes, please. I am not able to hear you, ma'am, for some reason. The audio is not reaching me. You can just try once more. Uh, no, I think no. The device has trapped us all in a bandhana, which is preventing us from listening Kalpana ji's uh, words. So, all right, anyone who is a Jivan Mukta or what is a Jivan Mukta? What is this Jivan Mukta?
A person who has attained liberation.
Okay, yes, Umaji says such a person who has attained liberation. How any practical aspects of him, Umaji? If how do we identify or something about it? Which because
He's away from attachments.
okay, all right. So away from attachments is what Umaji has said. Yes, Shashi ji is saying something.
Um, I was saying Jivan Mukta is attaining liberation while still alive.
Uh,
And
it's something special, isn't it?
getting very. not very many people can do that really.
Okay. Right, right.
And I would say, you know, controlling is a better word. I think controlling and not having any attachments.
Okay. Controlling
To
and not having attachments. Okay.
yeah.
Yes. All right. Yes. Shraddha Maji is adding something, is it?
Yeah, I think he's free from bondage.
Free from bondage. But Maji, how does
Yeah.
such a person look? Does that person, because the person has probably extra hands or extra eyes or
No,
extra
not
head,
that way. Not that
not
way.
necessary. Huh.
Not no, not necessary. Not that way. Whatever
Yeah.
happens around him, he doesn't get concerned about that. He'll do his
Okay.
karma and keep going on.
So very much like all of
So,
us human beings, only not trapped in
no,
the
he
bandhanas.
keeps expecting something when we do something.
Yeah. Okay.
That is
Okay.
not
So
there
he's
with
free
him.
from the trap of expectations.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
okay? Yes, Magic. All right. Arvind is adding something to what
Yeah,
Sadhana Maji said.
he remains poised in any type of situation,
Ha. Okay.
always, always.
Always in a
Poised.
balanced state. In a balanced state in all types of situations. Maybe exciting situation or non-exciting situation. Maybe sad situation or happy situation. Such a person. I think previously also Krishna talked about somebody who is such a balanced person is called Dhira. Such a Dhira person is worthy of attaining liberation. And here again we see that Krishna says this person who is a Jivan Mukta. Or if you practice Karma Yoga, you can become Jivan Mukta is what is an indication now. Krishna is telling Arjuna because right now Arjuna really wants freedom. Freedom from this horrible mess and trap that he is in. Who would not want a freedom from such a trap? His own family members have now gone against him. He has to run away. He has to run away from everybody. That's what he feels. I have no other option now. But does he have to run away from the battle? Does he have that option?
No.
No. And whom is he going to battle? His own loved ones, isn't it? That means will he have to start cultivating hate for his loved ones? Usha Maji is saying
No.
something? Yes, ma'am. Yes, Maji.
No, he has to do his karma, but he should not be going after the rewards he gets by doing that karma. If it is
Okay.
personally for him, what he
Ah,
does should be for loka sangraha. That is for the
okay.
welfare of the family. He should have done it, not for his personal
Family,
gain.
family means his family because a lot of people say, Pratham, see your family. You don't see anybody outside.
No,
Your family means
the entire
entire.
people in that place were ruled by Duryodhana, who was a very horrible king.
Okay.
So he
Yeah.
could save them. His idea
So,
should have been to save them his from
hmm,
that kind of a king, but
yeah, and
not that he should gain the kingdom and become a king himself and rule everybody. Then it
right,
becomes
right.
his karma gets tainted.
Yeah. Acha, so tainting of karma happens because of attachment. That's an interesting point Usha Maji has shared. And the family is the family of the world. Ayam nijaha paroveti ganna laghuchetasam udaracharitanantu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Vasudha eva kutumbakam. The Vasudha or this earth, every living person, just because somebody does not like the type of dress I wear, or somebody is not following my fashion, or somebody is not following my particular ideology or my thought process, can I start disliking that person and ignore and throw that person out? It is not right. I have to understand that I have a world family. This is a different aspect. What is this world family? We will probably look at it little later. Who belongs to the world family? Well, we have everybody, isn't it? Friends, foes, everyone. But that understanding of oneness, that is important, but that is probably something Arjuna is not having at this moment. Krishna says, see, I'm going to tell you something, a knowledge that is going to liberate you from the bonds of karma. The bond of karma or karma bandhana is something which is connecting every single one of us. I think we all are aware of electromagnetic waves, isn't it? Where are they? The electro, say we're all connected through what? Through an internet, isn't it? Through a Wi-Fi. So where are these waves?
Interconnecting us all.
They're interconnecting everybody and they're passing through us also, isn't it? So there is no escape. We may not be able to see them, but like these, there are the bandhanas of karma also, which are connecting every one of us. We don't realize it. Sometimes we think certain things do have consequences. We don't understand. We talk some things we don't understand. But it is there. Even if we don't understand, does not mean it does not exist. And this is the karma bandhana which every living person is bound. Everybody who is born on this earth. We may think we are free, we are this, we are that. Like I told you, an organization was distributing Jivan Mukti certificates. One young man got married, and on the day of marriage, it seems he is certified Jivan Mukta. So, what is he going to have? Life of family after that? Or what is it? And who is certifying? We do not know. But the bandhanas are so strong. One simple example I can think of is one wrong action I had done, and I did not even realize the consequence of that action. I had joked with a friend once very casually as a young boy in school. It was like, say, eighth class or seventh class. I made a joke. And this person has become a psychiatrist. And at just when he was doing his MBBS, he met me and he was so bitter about my joke cracked in seventh standard. I did not even realize that I had cracked this joke. It was done in a very light-hearted manner without my knowledge. But the consequence of, see, this is the Vani, no? One simple word spoken somewhere. So Vani also, words are also having actions. Sometimes keeping mouth quiet is the best karma we can do. It is about knowing when to keep mouth quiet. Does not mean at all times. For example, a fish gets caught because its mouth is open, no? The fishing line has come and the mouth is open. Unnecessarily, it's gone and got trapped. So something like that happens in our life also. Relations get solved. Krishna later on in the Gita talks about so many factors that are actually not in our control. We are influenced. We want to be free, but we are influenced. We are influenced by karma bandhanas, and these karma bandhanas are quite strong. And it's something which is like a forest also. Somebody has requested access. I am allowing you as long as you do not share, or maybe I'll just deny. I do not know who has requested access for sharing something, but I'm just denying it. Yes, let us continue. So this karma bandhana is a bond which is binding each and every living being. Different types of karmas are there. My sister, she's an engineer and is also the GM of our organization, which is manufacturing Ayurvedic medicines as well. So she had gone to an inspector of factories on department, and there she was talking to somebody, and somebody immediately said, "What is this theory of karma? You explain to me." Now, this is such a deep one. Krishna himself says it is like a forest. Gana karmano gati. It is so deep that you don't understand the flux. Now, here an inspector is asking, "Come on, tell me in short, what is it?" She said, "Do you want which version do you want? You want a very deeper version or you want a simple short version?" He said, "I want a short version." So she said, "Simple. Okay, I will give you that explanation of karma, theory of karma." He said, "What is this theory everybody talks about?" So, number one, she says, there are some karmas you do, you get instant result. For example, you go and you slap somebody on the road, he'll slap you back. Instant karma. Then another example, she says, when you write your exams, you write your exam, does the result come immediately? No result, unless it is some digital exam that gives immediately. But generally, I think school exams we used to write, we will happily tell our parents, "Oh, full marks, sir did very well." And we are very happy till the result comes. Because till then we are confident that result is not yet come, we can do whatever we want. But then, Papa फिर से fail हो गया. We have to say after the report comes. Because because these are the karmas which are giving results later on. That's the second type. And there's a third one, we don't even know what we have done. Certain things, we have done a lot of things. He was indicating probably what that person has done or what, I do not know what was her indication, but there are a lot of things that we do and then we receive. There are some karmas which are called prarabdha karmas. We don't know. Like we have understood that we are a continuum. We're coming through a cycle of birth and death. Punarapi janama, punarapi marana. That cycle is what we want to come out of that. What we can say, this karma bandhana only, isn't it? We go through certain life experiences. We have our personal experiences also. Sometimes some are impersonal. Some experiences we don't even know what we have done, and yet we get those experiences. And we say, what wrong have I done? Why am I getting it? We do not know what was done before. So these one, two, three, so many types are there. And every one of us is bound by this karma bandhanas. And karma bandhanas does not have any, it is not like, it is not a matter of emotions also. It is a flux, no? Do we see, we are connected with now, say, electromagnetic waves, they are flowing everywhere, isn't it? Does it see and differentiate between people? No, it does not. Same way, these bandhanas of karma, just because I have a particular love for someone, this person, I should try to save this person from something. Can I do that? Can I be partial to someone? Just because this person is my friend, this person is my brother, this person is my sister, this person is my elder. It is the same. Karma bandhanas are for every single one of us who are human beings. We are bound by it. We have to become conscious. We have to become free. And that is what Krishna is talking about in this particular part of the second adhyay. He says, I will give you the knowledge that will liberate you from the bondage of karma. Why even Krishna has to do karma, isn't it? Krishna is the Sarathi, he is the charioteer. But why is he the charioteer? Because he has to do the karmas. He is also, we will say, experiencing the bandhanas of karma, but he is Jivan Mukta. He has reached that state where he is not going to be trapped by the flux of karma, and that is why he is the example. Kalpana Maji or Kalpana Madam shared one beautiful example of Raja Janaka, the king, the rich king who was also a sage. We must have all heard of a very famous book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Read the Gita, you will wonder, why did the monk have to sell a Ferrari? Why cannot the monk be one in the Ferrari? Monk in the Ferrari is also possible, isn't it? Again, no personal comments to the author. It is just a point of view which I'm sharing. Of course, that book is wonderful. I'm not commenting on that. But this is it. Raja Janaka was surrounded by wealth, was utilizing the wealth for what Ushamaji said, Loka Sangraha, the aim of the Gita, the aim of our existence in life. And interestingly, if that becomes our aim, that becomes our fuel and motivation for becoming better in this world, in this Bhuloka. I want to do Loka Sangraha. That will give you limitless motivation to keep working, keep rising, keep doing better and better. And let us now just see what is that knowledge that Krishna is talking about, which is going to liberate from karma bandhanas also. How brilliant it is, this very possibility, no? Meaning you are going to perform actions and yet not get bound by them. Just before we go to that, what do you think are the potentialities of becoming free from karma bandhanas? Anybody? Means in our everyday life, if we just look at it, because before we look at what is, let us look at its practical utility. No, why do we need to know? What difference can it make in our life? Say we become free.
No stress.
Okay. Yes. Shashiji says no stress. Visharji is saying something. Is
I
it?
I agree with the earlier comment. I don't know if my mic is okay,
I can hear you. Please continue. Yeah.
but I don't know why I get this interpretation from regular everyday Gita interpretation about Krishna is that
No, we'll not go to whose interpretation. Just the question is quite pinpointed, sir. It is like means if we become what are the bandhanas which are trapping us everyday life, and how what is the potential? What happens if we become free from them? Means if you just think of some of the bandhanas which are like binding you, then you can just probably tell me, like, how will it be when it becomes free? And because that is we are not yet seen also what Krishna has told it.
Yes, I mean, at one level, it does free you from stress, but on the other hand, uh, like if I'm looking at a materialistic level, then these like obstacles, etc., the bandhanas are still there at the back of the mind, or will be there tomorrow. Huh? You might be free at a level, maybe for an hour, 2 hours, or a day.
Okay. But you are not going to be completely free, is what you feel, isn't it, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Fine, sir. Thank you. Yes, Radhika ji is saying something? Yes, please.
I feel if we are free from the bondage, then our quality of work will improve and we will not be
Ha,
focused
ha.
on the outcome. We will start enjoying the process rather than thinking only about the outcome.
Okay, okay. That's a very interesting aspect that the quality of work and probably the quality of life also. And Radhika ji has talked about something very interesting. We will have a separate, when we come across that in the Gita, about how we can actually work and focus on the process without focusing on the outcome. But that is the core of the principle of Karma Yoga, actually. Karmanyevadikaraste mam phaleshu kadachana. 99% people get, what do you mean by don't look at the outcome? How can I not look at the outcome? I have to look at the outcome. I need a name. I need an objective. How can I work without it? And yet, this is something we look at it, what Krishna has says, but this is something becoming free. Okay. Chitraji wants to add something, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we realize that we are not actually the doer and we are not trying to control everything.
So
So
who is the doer then now? Who is talking? Is
then,
Chitraji talking? Or is
yeah,
it?
I mean, when we think that you're doing the divine's work, you become a
Okay.
lot free.
We
And
become free. Acha.
yeah,
So, but we have to be doing the divine's work, or
yes,
we keep
yes.
saying divine is doing Naham Karta, Hari Karta. People say that, but ultimately we do not know if the Karta is Hari only or it is somebody else being the Karta and doing that. But again, non-doership also can come in if we get that understanding. So that means tension is less, no? The captain is always in charge, no? So the captain is more worried about everything. But if you think you are doing everything, for example, you see, sometimes people feel, no, they are carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. They feel they are the brothers or sisters of Atlas only. They have no other job but carry the entire weight on the world. Every day they walk with so many bandhanas, so many chains, and they feel I have so much weight on. Maybe this Gita's knowledge, if somebody goes and tells Atlas also, he'll say, ah, Acha, Shesha is already holding. I don't need to. I can go for a walk in the park. I don't have to keep holding on to this. I am not carrying this universe. It is Shesha who is holding it. He might become free. So something like that in our life also, this realization. And I think Vishaji pointed out something interesting also that it has to be a realization, not just a intellectual understanding or thought. Because I get an idea. The idea is something. Sometimes people get hundreds of ideas. I know a friend whom last 14 years, every year he has come up with a new business idea. Unfortunately, not one of those ideas have been successful. So he has not course corrected. So every time new ideas are going to keep coming in, but these ideas are going to not have a value until it comes into one practical grounding. So I think yes, we have established the need for becoming free. We must aspire to become Jivan Muktas. We have examples in front of us. Who are the examples? Krishna himself is an example for us. Krishna himself is there. Kalpana Maji is told about Raja Janaka. These two are very important examples because they are also in the Gita. Krishna gives these two examples also later on. We will come across that. It is always nice to have an example. Archana ji is saying something. You are most welcome, ji. Is it? No. All right.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, ji. Yes, please.
Hari Om, Sushrut sir. I
Yes.
yeah, the question was where do we use this concept in real life? So I have found that I can take unbiased or rational decisions when I know that I am not involved in the karma or
Okay. Okay, so this is one very nice point. Unbiased, rational decisions also. When will you be unbiased? When you don't have vested interest, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Ji, absolutely. Archana ji has given a very important aspect. Sometimes we have our own biases which allow us to see nothing. We only see what we want to see. Something happens, a truth comes in front of us, but it still is not there. We can say biggest bias is Dhritarashtra's, no? Mamakaha Pandavascha. He could not see the Pandavas are also like his children. And in this bias, he got blinded by what? Attachments only, no? He could not say, no, no, my Duryodhana, my lovely Duryodhana will never do. Duryodhana is an angel. He cannot hurt the Pandavas. If anybody went to complain also, he would say, no, I'll not take any action against him. I want my son to live a happy life. What wrong am I doing? Can't the father have this much expectation? This may be Dhritarashtra's question, isn't it? Only one expectation. But look at that expectation. What has it led to? It has led to Narasamhar, isn't it? That same one person, because this is the bandhanas, many people in many lives, many homes. India is having the knowledge of the Gita, but is India really experiencing the freedom of the Gita? Are all Indians totally free? No, we are not. We are memorizing the Gita at times. We are worshipping the Gita at times, but we are forgetting to live the Gita. We are not free from ourselves. We are not freeing our family members. We are binding them. We are binding them with our own biases. We are binding them with our own attachments. Where is the divine work is going to uh, happen then? We say the national anthem very proudly. The Bharata Bhagya Vidhata. Who is the Vidhata of the Bhagya of our Bharata? We are not recognizing him. Then that Bhagya Vidhata is there in the Jana, Gana, Mana, in all, every living beings. But no, this person does not know anything. Parents tell you children don't understand. Children say parents don't understand. Brother says this person is like this. That person says that way. When is that realization going to come? When are we going to rise? When we become free. And that is the knowledge which Krishna is giving to Arjuna right now. Because right now he is trapped. He's trapped. He thinks it is love that is making him feel that and he should not do his duty. He feels he is going to get punya if he doesn't do this duty. He's lost in all of this papa punya circle. Now, Sarojini ji wants to say something. Is it, Maji?
No, my sir, no, sir.
All right, ji, fine, ji. And everybody can just address me as Sushrut. You do not have to use sir at all. It's also an acronym for three swear words my friends used to make in school. S dot I dot R head. So let us let us please feel free to address each other
I
without
want
having
to
to.
quit and rejoin. Okay, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. Ji, okay. Yeah, so let us continue. Krishna tells further about this. He says, Neha kramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. A smallest action done in the right manner can protect us from the greatest danger, is what Krishna is saying. In where, in which place? It is in this yoga of karma, when we are engaging in karma yoga, when we are conscious at that time. Krishna says here, the actions once begun, bring no losses. Nehabhi kramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. The actions once begun bring no losses or any negative results or consequences. Smallest action done in the right manner can protect one from the greatest danger. A small action done in a right manner can protect from a grave danger, is what Krishna is saying. The rational mind may wonder, how can a small action protect from great danger? Small action can protect from small danger, isn't it? By logic. Anybody? Do you have the how can a small action protect from a great danger? Anyone? Is it possible? Small action protecting from great danger. How? Yes?
Yeah, sometimes it happens like the saying goes, a stitch in time saves
Ha.
nine lives.
Okay, a stitch
So
in time
sometimes a
saves
very
nine.
small warning when we give it to even say children, don't go near the electric this thing, it's going to give you a shock or any
Ha.
mundane thing
Yeah,
can
yeah.
help people from grave dangers.
Yes,
Or
yes,
when
yes.
somebody is crossing the road, you help them out.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
helps me out as a senior citizen when I
Hmm.
cross.
Gee.
It saves botheration for so many people. The driver,
Ha.
to me, of course.
Okay.
So like
Okay.
that happens.
Multiple little actions. That is so
The
nice.
little
Actually, I just
action helps. That's why they say,
Hemaji just reminded me of a friend of mine in childhood. He actually went and touched a live wire. So somebody had told him. Luckily, nothing too bad happened because he was destined to go to greater heights and do more crazier things, like fall from a higher place. Now he's a pilot, so he's quite safe. He's not like as reckless as he was before. But yes, maybe somebody would have told him that could have prevented a great danger. Absolutely. I think in everybody's homes, one person has a responsibility to shut the door at night, isn't it? Either the husband or the wife or somebody, one person. What is the big action that somebody is doing? No, it's not a huge action. This is a small action. Small action of shutting the door. What is it doing? It's protecting every single person in that home. It's protecting. I mean, you just keep the door open, what's going to happen? You're going to allow an entry. Like that, our body is also a temple of nine gates, it is said. This Sharira is called a temple of nine gates. There are Navadwaras. How do you, anybody is aware of this? Have you heard of this? That our Sharira being called a temple of nine gates?
No.
Yes? Anyone? If you've come across it?
yeah. That is the nine dwar is there in our
Nine
body.
Dwaras are there.
Yeah.
So we have the openings of the nostrils, of the mouth, of the ears, or like
Eyes.
that nine. Yes. There are nine openings. And then if you see Sharira itself, you look at it in a little bit different manner. Who are the Dwarpalakas? They are the Indriyas, isn't it? In a way, if you look at it. If your Indriyas are in control, these gates are going to be sealed. No infiltration will ever take place. But if the Indriyas are not in control, what's going to happen? Gone for a ride. My eyes have gone somewhere. My ears are listening to somebody's whispering. Some Shakuni is only coming, and I'm like, yeah, thank you. Your ears should be what they say, Bhadram karne bhi shrunyam devaha. Hear auspicious things, hear right things. But no, my ears are listening only to wrong. What's going to happen in the mind? There's going to be kachra only. You're going to start having conspiracy. You're going to have paranoia there, always paranoid thoughts all the time. Seeing also, I keep seeing things. I'm going to start looking at worst case scenarios everywhere. I'm not going to see light. I'm going to see darkness and sorrow everywhere. If I can see the truth, even in darkness, I can see the light, isn't it? What is darkness? Darkness is Shiva. Some people are afraid of darkness, and some people feel darkness is nothing but the envelope of Shiva, giving me one beautiful comfort. It's a kind of sadhana. Just sit, turn off all the lights, sit in one room, turn off the lights, stop doing everything, just sit there quietly and then observe your thoughts. Yes, Karthik ji is saying something. Yes, sir.
Shashiji, could you please repeat that Sanskrit verse that you just mentioned?
The Bhadram Karne Bhi, that one.
Yes.
That's actually it is there also in the start of some Upanishads also. Bhadram
Correct.
Karne Bhi Shrunyam Devaha. भद्रं पश्चिमाक्षधीरजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवान् स्वस्तनुभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः. That's a beautiful shloka which talks about let my ears hear auspicious things.
Yeah,
Let
I
my
wanted to know the
eyes see.
meaning. I wanted to know the meaning of
Yeah, I'll
that
probably send it into the
verse.
group, sir. I'll just send it into
Oh,
the
sure.
group. It
Thank
is
you.
beautiful. It is, I think, even in the beginning of Mandukya Upanishad, it is probably chanted first. I think so, or maybe the Isha Upanishad. I'm unable to perfectly remember where, but it is a very quite a well-known mantra. So we need to hear things. And you're calling upon God for what? This is also beautiful. That mantra itself, you see the last part, Sthirai Rangai Stushtuvan Swastanubhi Vyashema Deva Hitam Yada. You give me strong, sound bodies. My bodies, let it become by the grace of the divine, let my bodies become strong. Let my mind be strong. Let me serve the divine. Means that is the entire purport. We are not getting lost. We have to take part in Kurukshetras which are going to be taking place because that Kurukshetra is also taking place for a manifestation of higher truth, for the upholding of dharma. So instead of running away from the battle because of being disturbed by the Indriyas, we as sadhaks, I think we can all try to aspire to be sadhaks, isn't it? Sadhak is a seeker. Seeker of what? Seeker of truth. There is no certificate, there is no level 1, level 2, level 3. Sadhak is sadhak. And here it is very interesting. Somebody on level 0 can become level 100. Somebody on level 50 can. It's like a game of snakes and ladders only. Only it is, there is also karma aspect, not just completely thrown to chance. We have to do the tapasya, we have to rise ourselves. But if we decide this is the way, and here Krishna says, smallest action when you become conscious and you do that in a state of karma yoga, you are protected, you are shielded from the greatest dangers. It is like you are going to take part in an action and yet not get trapped by that action. Best example is we study Krishna's life itself. It's beautiful. Means we have to understand from practical examples. Sometimes we don't understand people's high philosophies. Look at their lives, you can understand better. Many Shishyas learn the Gita by looking at their Guru. Why? Because the Guru is living the principles, living the teachings, so I can understand better. For me, I was very lucky that I could see Damleji's life. And immediately through his life, yes, here is a person remaining poised, whether in comfort or in hardship. There is no hardship according to him. And the motivation to do work, well, no age is now sir is coming to 80, but no, the age is not a factor. As Kalidasa says, Dharma Vruddheshu Vaya na samikshate, and Vaya is not at all a factor in the spiritual path. Nobody is old, nobody is young. It is the heart that is awake or the heart that is asleep. That is all. So every single place we can actually see this aspect in Krishna's life. If you study, you will see. Look at him. Look at him. He is the Raja, but he has become a Sarathi. For what? Was it emotional attachment? Was it out of love? Yes, it was out of love. But does love include attachments? Love does not include attachments at all. When you include attachment in love, you are doing the same mistake that Dhritarashtra is doing. You become blind. That is true. But you also lead others also to destruction. You lead others. Most homes, what's happening? There is nobody willing to stop Dhritarashtra, isn't it? Everybody has their own point of views. Everybody has their own attachments. And everybody is biased and compromised. What can happen there? Nothing can happen there. That is why it is important for us to realize that. Let us see, because this is a that is why Gita Shastra is not in just one or two verses or 10 verses, 20 verses. Krishna had to 700 times. I mean, 700 shlokas are there in the Bhagavad Gita. Not 700 times, 700 shlokas are there in the Gita. Krishna had to tell in details. Many times it appeared that he is telling the same thing. Is it the same thing? It is not the same thing, but it is to understand in depth all the dimensions. And interestingly, Krishna tells Arjuna, and after the battle, Arjuna again feels that he has not realized all of it. He has not realized all of it, and he asks Krishna, tell it to me again. Krishna says, I cannot say that again. Himself, Krishna says, I cannot tell the same Gita again because that time the consciousness I was connected with is different. I will not be able to give it to you because this is the moment in life also. What we are having today will not come again. We have to become conscious. We have to take it. We have to take it on a war footing only. If you remember, our Lokmanya Tilak Maharaj had given a beautiful slogan. Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. That was the need of the hour. Now it is an important slogan. We have to take it ahead. Sakshatkar is my birthright and I shall have it. I will become realized. I will become liberated. So I will liberate my family, liberate my members. Like cleaning up the world begins with cleaning up your backyard also. That does not mean everybody must go and do this only. Sometimes some people have to leave their families. It is no compulsion, there is no rule, but what is important is whether you leave or you don't leave, you have to become free. Becoming free only can ensure you can make anybody else free. Somebody who is crying cannot wipe the tears of another person crying. The person will have to rise above that. So, like that, this is something Krishna says that because it is very important. We all think we understand, and with that understanding, we bind ourselves. Look at the shloka number 42. Because here, yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipashchitaha vedavadarataha partha nanyad asti iti vadina. With eloquence and flowery language, pushpitam vacham. Flowers are beautiful. So flowery language looks more beautiful, but it's not always the truth. With eloquence and flowery language, men orate. They are great orators. Despite limited intelligence when they narrate, quoting the Vedas with their pseudo interpretation, they dismiss the divine origin of the world's creation. This is very, very important to understand that we have to realize because sometimes words are very, very interesting. People get what we can say enticed with words only, flowery words. Oh, such a great person, such and such person is speaking this. And then we get trapped because that person has not really understood it. How do we look at it better? How do we understand? Well, I think my Guruji had very beautifully said how to identify whom to follow, whom to not follow, what to do, what not. One simple thing he had told it is it's like how do we identify? He who knows and knows that he knows, follow him. Simple as that. He who knows not and knows not that he knows not, leave him. He who knows not and knows that he knows not, teach him. As simple as that. Means whom to teach, whom to follow, whom to leave. Simplest solution. I want to learn. How will I learn? I learn from somebody who has understood and who has realized that. So I will go and understand. If I have not realized and I'm just parroting the shlokas only, then what is going to happen? I will fall definitely, but I'll not have that knowledge also. We have to realize we must all take it a point in our life. I don't want to just keep reading stuff to satisfy my mental, excitement or giving me some kind of meaning, some excitement people get in reading, which is fine. Or sometimes people get excitement in showing others what they have done. It's not there. This is just useless. This is as good as dismissing the origin of the divine, dismissing the divinity, because divinity is there in this world. We are not going to dismiss that. We have to realize that that is the entire crux. Because otherwise, we are going to be trapped. And what is that trap going to do? It is going to blur our perception. Look at the 41st shloka of this Gita. If you see, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekehe kurunandana bahushakha hinantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. There are two types of buddhis, or two types of understandings in people, two types of approaches people have. What is it? One says the decisive selfless intelligence, all as one perceives, and is unifying. Oh, beloved son of the Kuru clan. You see, Krishna is calling Arjuna as the son of the Kuru clan, Kuru Nandana. Kuru Nandana is fighting whom? Kurus only, no? He's fighting in Kurukshetra against Kauravas. And who is fighting against Kauravas? The lovely child of the Kuru family only. But what is Krishna saying? He says, this intelligence which is speaking of selflessly allowing you to see oneness everywhere, that is unifying, where you can see oneness and you can see oneness of the spirit in all. That understanding which is allowing you to see oneness, that is the unifying wisdom. It is able to see oneness everywhere. Otherwise, what happens? Division only. And that is the dangerous aspect. Vyavasayat makabuddhi. But the divisive intelligence of desirers has a wide span that splits like a tree's countless branches and leaves. There's no limit to the division, isn't it? Livens, you start one division happens, then second division happens, then another division happens and goes on and on and on. For example, Gautam Buddha had given the path. Then that path has now got so many shakhas, so many divisions. Each one is saying that one is different, that one is different, that one is different. Now, there's one we can say it's like how many divisions are we going to keep making? And it happens not just, I'm not talking about just this marga, it happens in every marga. Everywhere we are. Why marga only? Why are we talking about spiritual marga also? In our own life, we make divisions, one after the other. This person belongs to this particular, this person belongs to, yeah, all right, most welcome if Vishayji, Hari Om. Yeah, so this person belongs to my family, this person belongs to my kula, this person belongs to my societal status, this person belongs to my ideology. This person is not right. If somebody says something, you are from the opposite ideology. Leftist is calling another person communist, communist is calling another person right wing is calling left wing, centrist is getting in trouble because you are not here also, you are not there, you belong to that. Every single place people are creating divides, and in that divisions, further and further moving away from the truth. And the example is given like the shakhas of a tree. They keep splitting, isn't it? They keep dividing. That there are two types of intelligence, is what Krishna is saying. One is the intelligence where oneness is there, and the other intelligence is that which is perceiving a division. Krishna is indicating that we have to become free from that. It is very difficult to understand what is this, because this will be covered later on in the Gita also. How do we see oneness? Can we see oneness in friends and foes? Anybody? Is it possible? Can I see oneness in the friend and the foe? Is it even possible? Is what Krishna telling even practically possible? Because I think Vishaji had just shared that no, it works for a few hours when we read it. Then afterwards, these principles don't work in practical life. Yes, Archana ji was adding something. Yes, ma'am. Or is it Rachna ji? Anybody?
In everybody, ultimately it is Krishna, so that is the binding factor. We can find many ways to separate, but friend
In
and
a
foe
cunning
one.
person,
Sorry.
in a cunning person, in a cruel person, how can we see Krishna there, Rachna ji?
Yes, ultimately, yes, we can say Krishna because maybe in the divine order they have come to teach us a lesson.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
by showing the cunning, they want to, or they want to mirror what we really are inside. We had to see that,
Okay. So maybe, that's a very interesting
when
point, actually. Yeah.
whenever we are seeing somebody, then there is something that needs to be learnt.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
instead of seeing everybody
But then
as
do we get beguiled by a cunning person? Because a cunning person has come to me, and okay, Krishna is teaching me through this cunning person. So can we say, come, make a fool out of me?
no, not at all. Why
Ha,
then he would have not fought the war.
yes.
So uh, he was in the war, and if you remember that Barbaric was
Yeah.
was given the task of seeing. So he sees in everybody, in the friend and in the foe, in Duryodhan
Okay.
and in everybody, he could see only Krishna. So
Ha.
still the war
He
had
got
to be
that.
fought. Still
He
everybody
got
had to
that.
be killed. Uh,
Right.
so the action needs to be done, and we cannot think that
Means the
if
cunning
it is
person is
friend or
doing the
foe.
divine's work. Cunning person is doing Krishna's work, but unconsciously, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Unconsciously.
That
Okay.
differentiation we have to have in our mind.
If we
That
understand
even
that,
if they are
then we
playing
will
the
not
role.
say, come, fool me, but you become alert. Acha, you are using this trick on me. Right. Thank you for showing that these tricks exist. Now I will, what we can say, like in the game, no? Reverse, reverse. Something
Absolutely.
of
So
that sort. Isn't it? Krishna
only if
has
we
told that.
remember, Only if we remember that we are playing our own role
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
might be doing
right.
many of those things.
Right, right.
So,
There's a verse in the Gita when Krishna gives his Virat before Virat Roop also, his Virat Vibhuti Darshana. That is also Virat only because his Vibhutis are spread across the world. He says, Dyutam Chalayatam Asmi. I am the cunning in the gambler's deception. Who will get that darshana? Shakuni got that darshana in the Mahabharata. He thought he is outsmarting. He is outsmarting God. And he got such a way outsmarted that he fell flat on his face. Meaning, just you cannot bind the divine to just certain things. That is true. When we say we see oneness in friends and foes, it allows us to look at them in an unbiased and unattached manner. Because otherwise, whatever my friend says is true, and whatever my foe says untrue. Who knows? Your foe by mistake, your foe may tells truth. No. Why do you want to close that possibility? Many times when people attack another person, many times when people just try to cause harm, they end up causing good only, isn't it? Without their knowing. They make something happen quickly. They make certain manifestations which would not have taken place. They make it happen 10x the speed. Otherwise, normally, if this person was good, sometimes it may not have occurred. I know of a particular incident where a person put a particular case on somebody, and that case actually backfired so badly. But because of that, this person got awakened. It's like, now enough. The sleeper has awakened. Enough is enough. No more. I cannot stand. So, what has happened? Thank you will go to that person, isn't it? Who awakened the sleeper. Otherwise, this person would have gone through entire life in the same manner. Not at all. Some manifestations don't come at all, so that time God has to use that. Krishna has told that in the Gita. Sri Aurobindo has also said, Asurasya Udyamam Shakti Dehi. Get the strength of the Asura. Use it also. Don't get trapped only in the gunas of the Deva. So this aspect, karma bandhanas to become free, we'll have to see how we can become free. But when we see that, we begin to see oneness, we begin to see dhong also, we see falsehood also, it becomes with the clarity, no? The clarity which comes from unbiased understanding. No more are you thinking, oh, this person is so great because this person has XYZ number of followers or XYZ this person's deeds. We think this person is only correct. It's not like that. Anybody can make a mistake. Anybody can, and our aspect should not be from outer aspects. We should see from the inner aspect. Shraddha is there, then you will not have a question at all. Simple as that. But for Shraddha to be established, you should not have a bias. No. If you are having Shraddha based on outer aspects, then it's going to be shaken and broken. And when you have clarity, then very beautifully you can see this is oneness, this is division, this is dvesha. Dvesha does not have a place in sadhana. Nobody is allowed to have dvesha. No, but it is hatred for the wrong. Hatred for the wrong also is not required. Hatred for the wrong will crush the person. Whoever has the poison of hate is going to be consumed by it. But does that mean you are going to say to your foes, come on, foe, I'm hugging you? Or, dear foe, here is a beautiful Swiss knife for you to slit me, cut me. That's not what we are ever going to do. We have to be alert, we have to be awake. But let's not have that dvesha to bind. This person did wrong, so I'm going to do double wrong to show that person. This is not Shatru both. This is a different aspect. Dvesha should not come in because that is again, you see, Krishna says two types of intelligence. Vyavasayatmika buddhi is the one which is allowing you to see oneness everywhere. Like how Rachnaji shared about barbaric seeing in Kauravas and Pandavas. He saw the oneness because he saw Krishna there. Gandhari didn't see that, isn't it? She didn't see that. That's why she went on to even curse the savior. She went on to curse Krishna. She cursed Krishna, saying that you do not know the feeling of losing a loved one. I only have. This is one more thing. Something happens in somebody's life. Unfortunate, they feel they have good authority to wail over it and to make that as their trump card. You see, I went through this. I did this, so I alone can experience this. You will never understand. That's what she told Krishna, and she said, "You will understand Only when all the people in your family will be destroyed like this, your descendants. Who is she cursing? What is she saying in a fit of emotions? And Krishna accepted it. In some versions of the legend, it is that Krishna had a small tear in his eyes when he accepted by not because of the curse. He's not afraid of the curse. His tear was when he was narrating the pain he felt. He said, "See, you, Ma, you felt the children of one side dying. Both were my children, on both sides they were dying, and I felt both their pains. So your statement is wrong that I don't have emotions or I don't feel it. Yet, I will take your curse. It is all right." He accepts it. Because that is highest wisdom, highest oneness you can see in the foe and the friend. That comes later in the Gita, of course. Right now, Arjuna, if he tells that, Arjuna will say, no, Arjuna is not ready to listen to that. So Krishna has to wait in the future adhyas. Then he gives. Krishna also does not give Arjuna more than what he can understand. Because reception is required, no? Assimilation is also required. If that is not there, what's the use? It is not going to work at all. So let us continue. We just look at uh, just two more shlokas and we stop at that. Okay, 44th shloka. This is nice. The 44th shloka is connected with 43 and 44. Let's look at them. Yes. Kamat manaha swarga para janma karma phala pradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. Desiring deeply the fruits of worldly wealth, lustfully they seek heavens and good births. Ritual like their actions further merely one motive to achieve through every sacrifice a material objective. Meaning there are those divisive mentality, people of divisive mentality. What happens to them is everywhere they say division, and then there is swartha or or what we can say selfishness. Every action is fueled by selfishness. Every action, including the actions towards the divine. Just because somebody is praying, they don't give him a stamp that this person is a saint. Sometimes people can be very close to the temple or the church or the mosque, whatever name you want to call it, and yet far away from the God. Physical proximity means nothing if consciousness is not there. So here, every action, ritual like, only one motive. Through every sacrifice, they have to get one material objective, meaning they pray to God also, they go to a particular temple because this temple is going to give good exchange rate for their prayers. My friend had a very strong belief that he goes to this particular temple, offers good coconut, he will get good marks in the exam. And the funny thing is, he got good marks in the exam. Next, everybody went with coconuts there for getting good marks in the exam. But all who offered coconuts did not get. So those who did not get slowly lost their, what we can say, it was not a very good profitable business model for them. We are spending for the coconut, but not getting anything in return.
It
So
will
they stopped.
boost him to study hard. So he will
That
get good
person
marks.
who got boosted, that was Shraddha was there. It was not the coconut which was
No, no.
the provider
Shraddha
of all the coconuts which no distributor can provide is the divine. No. So he is not going to be bribed by a coconut. But
not bribed, but it
yeah,
will
not,
give him some
but I'm
strength.
talking about everybody else there who went, no, all the other friends, they didn't get boosted, no. They lost their confidence in that deva or they got lost the confidence in the coconuts. We do not know where they lost the confidence. But it was with a swartha, no. So many people enter into that action, every action with just one desire. And what happens then? What happens because of this? We'll look at one more shloka and we call it a day. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam tayapa ritachetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhu na vidhiyate. They will never attain that contentment or trupti for somebody who is having this vyavasayatmika buddhi. In the fruits of every action, their senses are held sway. Means biggest karma bandhana is because of kama, desires of lusting after things. If you lust after something, what's going to happen? You're going to be driven by that object only. You are going to become a robot controlled by the object of your lust. That is all. It can be individuals, it can be things, it can be drugs, it can be alcohol, it can be X, Y, Z. Some people are lust after name, some lust after fame, some lust after X, Y, Z. Some people lust after something after not in this birth, I didn't get in this birth, I want to get next birth. Or I want in Swargaloka, 5 BHK with driver. I don't know what people have, but people run after these kind of desires. And what happens because of that? That is a sad aspect which happens where people get depression because of the karma only, which is not getting fulfilled. In the fruits of every actions, their senses are held sway. Allured, their fickle minds meekly wander away. Such people whose intelligence is thus unfocused never attain contentment and are always depressed. This is the reason they are always depressed because there is no trupti at all, no satisfaction. Who can be satisfied? Well, if gratitude is there, somebody who has nothing also can be satisfied. There's a story, a beggar was sleeping very soundly and then suddenly he was given some money. That day onwards, his sound sleep disappeared because he said, "Oh no, now what do I do with this? What do I do with this?" And then one day he got angry and it was given to him temporarily by somebody. That person trusted him. He was a very honest beggar. So he thought, I give this. He said, keep this back. I wanted to sleep happily. I lost that one thing I have in life. He was happy and contented with a good sleep. Sometimes extremely rich people having everything also are not having sound sleep because trupti is not there. Somewhere there is dissatisfaction, some amount of attachment, some amount of confusion, some amount of frustration because of dissatisfaction of some desires not being met. There can be any desire, but all desires lead to the same thing. And there's a nice Sanskrit subhashit which says, Sarpaha pibanti pavanam nacha durbalaste शुष्कैर्तृणैः वनगजाः बलिनो भवन्ति कन्दैः फलैः मुनिवराः जपयन्ति कालं सन्तोष एव पुरुषस्य परम निधानम संतोष एव पुरुषस्य परम निधानम द ग्रेटेस्ट वेल्थ ग्रेटेस्ट aspiration or greatest achievement is santosha for a man because you see the serpent drinks only the air most of the time hot air only it's consuming according to the subhashit and yet is not weak. Look at the mighty elephant, so huge. What is it eating? It says, I want protein content, give me non-veg. No, he's eating vegetables only. I mean, eating all vegetarian vegetation. Look at the Muni in the jungle who is spending his entire life in sadhana, eating fruits and roots. What is the aspect? It is Santosha. Again, I just talked about elephant being vegetarian. I'm not trying to say promote vegetarianism or non-vegetarianism. Otherwise, that is the biggest fight every time when we go to Gita's, when we talk about Rajasic food, Tamasic food, Sattvic food, immediately there's a, this is this food, that food. Krishna has not told anything about it in the Gita, so we will not discuss that in any of the sessions, not now, later. But this is a Subhashit which talks about contentment. Somebody with contentment is able to be free. Somebody without that, who's running after karma, is going to have this. Intelligence will never be focused, only after desires. There's a constitution of a particular country which says there's a right, liberty to run up in the pursuit of happiness. Our yogis say running after happiness is useless. It's like a dog trying to catch its tail. It will keep running in circles till it gets exhausted, but will never succeed because the tail is always going to be behind. No matter how much the dog tries, it will not be able to. It will just, if it is just sitting quietly, trupti like a yogi, it will say, oh wow, I can have a tail. I don't have to run after it. Same is the case with happiness also. The yogis, it is a consequence of poise, consequence of inner peace. I mean, consequence of sadhana, consequence of getting that dhira, getting that poise at all times. If we don't attempt to become peaceful at all times, what is going to happen? If you are going to just run around after every action, reaction, action, reaction, desires, there is not going to be any peace. So this is where we conclude today. Actually, the aspect we have just seen what is the 44th shloka. We are entering into what is this bandhanas of karma, Krishna says there is a way to become free from karma bandhana. He's not yet shared it in the Gita, in this part at least. It will come on later. But we saw what are the potentialities. You know what's going to happen if we become free from karma bandhana? Our home will become Vrindavan. Simple. We will not have to go for retreats for peaceful experiences. I am going to retreat. Retreat itself means what? Going backward? No. We want to march forward or we want to retreat? That is the question. I think we can enjoy with family, we can have experience the Leela, we can enjoy divinity at all times with our own family members also if we can aspire, we can try. If you have Dhritarashtra and entire Kauravans only in your family, you will have no option but to first engage in Kurukshetra and then seek the experience. Engage in that battle. That battle is also required. It is inevitable. It happens whether or not you do it. Nature will bring a situation where you will be forced to do it, but at least you can be liberated at that time instead of getting driven by desires and then getting trapped in the depression and sorrow which comes as a consequence of unfulfilled desires. So we'll have to see some more aspects because Krishna is not quickly giving us a technique right now on how to become free. But he is talking about a possibility. This possibility is everything for each one of us. It is said one person in a family, no? One person in a family gets the realization, the entire kula gets uplifted. Means one person is the sakshatkara. Directly, there is a default benefit for every single person. Automatically, they don't have to do anything. How, what, we'll have to see. This is what is said. Because we're connected, isn't it? By and family, if you recognize the world family, you can really do Jagad Uddhar. You can a small boy, like boy in the sense of age, we can say. But that young boy became Sant Jnaneshwar, who became Mauli or mother, mother for the world. How can a little boy become a mother? Well, it's possible if the realization comes. So we have to look at it. We'll probably look at some other things related to this. If anybody wants to ask or share something, you are welcome. After which I request Chitraji to give us a summary of the session. If anybody wishes to ask or share something, you are welcome. Yes, please.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you.
When we say that we should look at everybody, each and everybody as one in oneness,
Yeah.
and we say that okay, when we say that okay, there are 10 people in front of me with different characteristics, and if I say okay, they are the atmas, should we say that their atmas is spoiled or it is tainted? That is why they are behaving
Ma'am,
like
what
that.
can we do? What can we say? We can't confirmly say somebody's. We can't see, first of all, directly like we can see in microscope microorganisms. We cannot see Atma with our naked eyes or some device. So we will not, means again, Atma is the purest Shuddha state. We saw a difference between Atma and Atman, what it is like. Everybody is perfectly pure on the inside, but there are coatings and levels which we never understand what coating is there. And somebody has one coating today, it is quite dynamic. Tomorrow, it may be something else.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
we
That was
draw
my
a
question.
conclusion, if we draw a conclusion, then we are only forming a mold, and we are see this person is not nice. This is my neighbor. He always has that bad look. He keeps telling like this only. He looks at me like, and my neighbor called neighbor called me terrorist on the very first day. I don't know what I did, and he called me that. Now that is his permanent opinion, or it is a temporary opinion. I don't know. But I have now last 9 years have happened. He's not come and told me I'm not a terrorist, but at least maybe his opinion changed that I'm not terrorizing anybody. So opinions can change. So they can change over time. And we must not get into the habit of judging anybody because when we start, we suddenly feel we are in one more position to call somebody something. Krishna is teaching me, Acha, he so many times, neighbor would come this direction, I would start, Acha, he's anyway irritated with me. I also don't want to see his face. Let me go elsewhere. So many times it is much easier. It is much easier if we just don't put labels. Don't put
Okay.
labels on anybody. Somebody may come, and sometimes there were very interesting aspects where he opposed certain issues, and then that created a greater. First, I was only alone standing against him, and then he and some six people tried to say, "You are doing this. Don't you have a life? Don't you have a job? What is your problem? Why are you doing this? They're not connected with you at all." But because he said that, because of that I stood. And because I stood, then few more people joined, and the problem was actually resolved. We all got what we call parking spaces allotted. Otherwise, that would not have happened. It was just going quite randomly. So we don't have to, and we don't need to draw any label to put any label to anybody. Good or bad. We're not even, why even this person's philosophy is like this? It's all right. It's all right. Because when you put a label, you are putting a stamp of rigidity onto that person. You are denying any other possibility. That's
So
all.
that's
We
what
should
I
not
think it
draw.
means.
Yes, dear?
Like 10 people are one, they're just people, maybe with
Yes,
pure
yes. And
but
even
it
if all the
doesn't
10
need.
people are bad, no, if even if all the 10 people are bad and they are against you also, no need to don't need to draw a label on it. Maybe Krishna will unknowingly through one of the 10 people might actually end up helping you, consciously
Correct.
or unconsciously. You have to protect yourself. Your swadharma should never be compromised. In the name of that is one more thing. A lot of people, no, people are all good. People are all good, and they go and then they experience horrible experiences. Somebody slaps one side, you have to show another side. नहीं बाबा, slap लिया है तो वापस देना. Shatham prati shatyam. Tilak Maharaj said, create a deterrence effect. No, that who are you? How dare you come and invade my privacy? Maybe you are not going to engage in the same action, but you will not be a sitting duck. No, but let us not draw labels, because divine can do anything at any time. That is the aspect we should understand. Nowhere also sudden manifestation can happen.
True.
Yes.
Understood.
So,
Yeah.
yes, Deep. All right. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. I think, Chitraji, if you would like to summarize.
Yeah. Hari Om. So we saw that Krishna explains Arjuna further on how one can become free from karma bandhanas. We understand that karma bandhanas are in something that are impartial. It's applicable for all beings. And Lord Krishna himself is a great example for this. He performed all his duties, but he was never attached to the bandhanas. And Krishna explains that Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Small actions done in the right manner can protect from great dangers. So it could be the presence of mind that can avert great dangers, and hence great consequences can be prevented. And Krishna explains that there are two kinds of understanding or intelligence people perceive. So the higher understanding is that the perception that sees all as one, whereas the lower understanding that is driven by desires that creates a division, just like a tree whose branches grow. There is countless divisions in those branches. And then because some folks, because of their limited understanding, not realizing that they misquote the shastras or the Vedas, and yet they try to prove their interpretation is right and dismiss the divinity. And Krishna explains that folks are usually stuck in the cycle of expectations of returns of a material gain for every offering or sacrifice that they make. And this is fueled by their never-ending desires that keeps driving them, and hence they are never content. And we understand that Indriyas serve as the guardians, and when they are in control, one does not go astray. So these are some of the things that we saw today.
Yes, Deep. Thank you very much, Chitraji. Yes, please. If anybody has anything to share, I will conclude with the Shanti Mantra. All right, then. Karthik, you want to say
Sushruti,
something? Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So, sometime back in one of our Gita classes, you had mentioned, you had given an example of how when you say, for example, someone has an ego, then I mean, it's not right to do that because it's primarily your ego which is identifying with that with the other person.
Okay. That is
So
a true thing, actually.
something to that effect
Yeah,
you
probably.
had
Yes,
mentioned.
yes, actually. The ego in us is seeing the ego in the other person. Means
So
I think that
would that
person is
fit in?
Ahankari.
So
I
would that
think that
fit in
person is
this
Ahankari. That
context?
person may think I am Ahankari. It's another perspective only. It is,
So that will
it
that
need not.
example fit in this context?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Would that example fit in today's context?
In which context, sir? Just in
In
little more.
in today's context, where you you're not identifying with the
Yeah, probably because when we go into search for egos, it is the ego inside of us which is searching another person. Is this person egoistic or this person is not egoistic? Let it be. No, he's egoistic, he will remain egoistic or he will learn. Ego is a helper, ego is a bar, Sri Aurobindo says. It helps to some extent, after which it becomes the hurdle. So it's not required. Nature will take care of other people. We focus on ourselves or sadhana kendrit to ourselves and try to progress. How to deal, what to deal, how to deal with people, we'll have to learn. But if we are going to deal with people, we'll have to be dealing with ourselves first. Am I going to be quiet? Am I going to be having my Vivek Buddhi awakened? Because when I am attached, when I have expectations, when I am compromised, when I am having a bias, when I am having desires, my Vivek Buddhi feels acha, best time now I can go on a holiday, international tour, vacation. Gone. Vivek Buddhi will not be there, and in these emotions, most decisions will be wrong. Most aspects taken in this biased state will always lead to more trouble. So we'll probably have to, like I think Karthik ji is saying something right. Instead of searching for, and like they say, the doha is there. No? बुरा जो देखन मैं चला बुरा न मिलिया कोई जो दिल खोजा अपना मुझसा बुरा न कोई. And I went in search of bad people and I found nobody. But when I turned into my heart, I found there is nobody worse than me. Means who is telling this? It's not a criminal who is telling this. It is I think Kabir Das. He's a yogi, he's a saint who has dedicated his life in purification of self. He says there's so much more to be purified inside of me. Why should I run after somebody else? Yes, sir. All right. That was a valid point shared, sir. Thank you so much. Hari Om. Namaste. Thank you, sir.